Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, and welcome back to the next episode of our Grand Canyon Park. Yes, it is already episode number 3, and today we are going to focus on the lagoons. We are going to have 3 lagoons for the moment. Maybe we are going to add one more in the future, but for the moment we are going to go with 3. And yeah, we are going to have the Mosasaurus obviously as the star of the show in the center, and some other ones around. But the main focus is to bring this area in as like a central hub with a lot of facilities, with hotel amenities, and just making sure that this is the area to path, which is really benefiting the most from, from the environmental aspect, because my basic idea was to have that in the center, because then you have the furthest away from the high and tall mountain faces on the sides, so that just keeps this kind of open feel of the canyon in the center, where technically the river would be, if there would be a river, it kind of would be in the center. So that was my thinking behind this, but oh boy, I struggled so much in this episode. But before we really talk about that, first of all, a big thanks to all of you. We already reached 61,000 subscribers. That is really amazing. I did not expect it to go so well, especially because my building style and so on is so different from what everyone else is doing potentially in Jurassic World Evolution, and also it's so much more connected to the planet series. So I'm very happy that you guys found your way here and seem to enjoy that the most. I'm very much super happy about this, and I want to thank you all for that. If you guys really enjoy that and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. We are really going strong, and maybe, just maybe, we are going to reach my secret target of 70,000 this year. That would be absolutely insane. I honestly didn't believe even to get these 60. Always in your head, you always have like a target, and then this is like the dream target, but you always have like a realistic target in your head as well. And I had like 3 kind of steps in my mind. So 70,000 was the big dream, and 60,000 was like where I was like, oh yeah, that would be really cool. And the realistic one was like 55, and we already hit that before Jurassic World Evolution 2 launched. That was really cool. But anyways, a big thanks to all of you. And now let's speak quickly about yesterday's video, because creativity found a way, as people commented. But I made one park, which is the plaza looks like Mr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, lying there with its shirt open, almost topless, and this very iconic photo translated into a plaza, which we're going to use as a park. I loved it, but something went wrong with the algorithm and the video. So if you guys haven't seen that, I'm going to link this for you here in the video. Top right, you can click it and have a look if you like it or not. I really do like it a lot. It's a fun little idea, it's different from what we do over here, and I just think we need this change of pace. Anyhow, there's enough time now to talk about this area. As you can see, I'm playing around a little bit with the amenities here to make this all look as good as I can. There are a couple of things you can do, and I want to show you, or like talk to you about one thing that you can see over here. Now, in order to make things look a little bit better, you have to get creative in this game, and you have to break up the areas in a way that they seem different from the standardized Jurassic World look. So what I did is I used one of the amenities to have the balcony that is pretty much faced towards the big lagoon where the Mosasaurus is. You will see in a real-time part, there is one very nice shot where you can see this, and I think it's very cool to really use the facilities to your favor, to your advantage, I should say, in placing them already with the park in mind. You have to actually think about the modules that these pieces have a bit better. I tried the modules quite a bit so that I really have an idea what kind of modules we have, but especially the terraces and these viewing stuff that you have from the amenities helps a lot to get some different viewing areas that sometimes you won't have, and you can combine that very nicely with the rest. And so I did over here with the facility that has the balcony located on the right, kind of right hand side of the building, now facing directly into the lagoon. And what I did with the seating area is I just put it right in front of it, so that it kind of isn't an addition to the seating area, dragging your view automatically towards the lagoon. Unfortunately though, there were a couple of issues, because I figured with the feeders you can make some of the roundish edges straight, which is kind of cool because that just changes the looks of it a little bit. However, one of this means, and this is so weird, the shape changes, but the hitbox doesn't. So by making this edge a little bit more straight, and I was hoping that I could get closer then with the pathway, in fact the roundish shape still remains there, and you get like a very blank space where you can't even put foliage or decoration in, and so I got rid of it again because it looked kind of weird. And then I tried to do a monorail, but I can spoil this already. The monorail did not remain there, as you can see. We will actually delete all the stuff of it because I just didn't like that, But then I just went in and did a couple of other detailings here and there, making some pathways and just make things look a little bit more interesting than it already was. And yeah, it's rather complicated, to be honest, to get things very close to each other and make it like a dense looking area. We will have to get some help for that, but yeah, I'm really saying that this looks still very good. Like, I promised that I want to make at least 1 or 2 series at the beginning with the base game without getting any mods or stuff like that involved, simply because I know that the console players especially have the issue that they will never get into this beautiful situation of using them, and I wanted to make a series that everyone can enjoy and everyone can kind of measure how much effort and stuff went into it and creativity went into it, because we all have the same tools. Like, I'm not saying that I'm against mods, not at all, but at least they take away a certain comparability of things, and so I decided to at least make this one first series without it, just as a little heads up to why I'm not using it, because I got a lot of comments about this, but don't worry, there will be enough with this stuff involved, as we will talk about that in the real-time part again. Now, over here, I used again the park tour, which already is becoming my favorite tool in the game, because the park tour has some cool things involved. Like, for example, this Jurassic Park gate you can place freely, even though it doesn't need to be connected to the route, which is kind of cool because you can just delete the route again, but the gate will stay. So you basically have a free decoration element. You just need to place the tour down at one position. The same is true for the little guiding rail in the middle of the tour. And I figured, you know what, we already used coasters as fences in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, so why not using the tour as like a little fence in this game as well? And this is what we are doing over here now, while putting the dinosaurs in, but I used the tour as a little fence element. Unfortunately, you couldn't really get too close to the path, but you can at least follow it somewhat. And it looks kind of nice. It looks really nice. You can do some cool stuff with it. And this is not going to be a tour, not at all, because I can't get through. But this is like almost like a little fence idea I had. And it looks rather cool. You can just get rid of these things and you can see, bam, it looks kind of nice. But yeah, so this is most of it about my voiceover. Just a couple of amenity changes here and there, which will, be with us for the rest of this series. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the voiceover today. I really hope you are going to enjoy the rest of the video. And as always, again, if you like the stuff, a comment, a like, or whatever is really appreciated to tell the algorithm that you like the stuff. And I really hope you guys are doing good. Stay safe, everyone. I think it's getting a bit more important in these times again. So make sure to stay safe and enjoy the videos. I really hope you do. And now, last couple seconds of the time lapse for you before we go over into the real-time part. Enjoy. Hello, and here we are in the real-time part. Yeah, today's build is a little bit different, and I struggled a lot more than usually. That was potentially the first build in which I've really felt the limitations of this game to kick in, and potentially this is also one of the first builds that made me realize that we potentially will not end this entire Canyon series without a little help from somewhere else, if you know what I mean. So we are going to show you, or I'm going to show you what has happened in this build. So my idea was to put the lagoons in this central area of the map. You can clearly tell that this is somewhat of a long area, and I wanted to, like, that was my basic idea, make this all look like a huge concrete plaza area with a lot of facilities in the middle. But it's really hard because you can't really get the pathways in where I wanted them to be. I wanted to actually put like maybe a hotel or so within here. So I might change it once we have this little help at hand. I might change this again to put like a little bit of a, you know, hotel facility area more likely in the middle here. That looks a lot better. And also with the water, I wanted to have some kind of little water. And to be fair, I think this area in particular looks fairly cool. This one looks really good, I guess, with, oh, look at that, with the Mosasaurus in the background chewing its little shark there from that line. So basically I think it looks really good if we consider this thing over here also part of it. Can I fly here? Oh, I can. Oh, look at that. They are sitting here with a view. That is actually a good view. Look at, oh my god, look at this. This is a fancy lagoon view, isn't it? I mean, you know, in terms of the overall view and stuff, that looks all pretty cool with the Jurassic Park fence, which for whatever reason you can place freely as soon as you have the Jurassic tour. So I just put that in as like a little detail. Also, what I found really interesting, you saw that in the time lapse, you can use this as like a little fence, you know. I kind of used that over here to make this like a little fence. Oh, by the way, can we? There's one thing I didn't test. Can we use this with the terrain? Can we paint this differently? I totally forgot about that. I don't know what of these ones have the highest contrast. It's definitely not that. This one also. This is that. Okay, this is very bright. What about this? They all don't really... Okay, this is maybe the biggest contrast we have over here. So if we go all the way around here with that side... I'm just testing, okay? So this way... And then we are just going to have this very bright. Yeah, you can almost have this as like a little separation between textures if you want. It doesn't really work that well, to be honest, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it's kind of working. And then you can go in and put the... Oops, there you go. Put the planters down. And again, yeah, plants still being a little bit of an issue, because they can't get as close to the path as you would love it to be, but whatever. We have to work with what we have to work with, right, for the moment being, until this is somehow fixed. I really hope that Frontier is going to have a little, you know, change about this and just make the brushes a little bit more, how to say, strong in certain areas, so that we can actually have some trees and stuff, you know. I will go in and do some more detailing with stones and so on once we decide to go with a couple more detailing episodes. But for the moment being, this is it. This is the I can go back into capture mode, by the way. That looks a lot better. I would love to just have the option to disable the HUD. That would be so much more easier than always go into capture mode. But whatever, here you have it. This is the lagoon area in our Grand Canyon build, and it's coming along very nicely. Let's fly out a little bit and have a little bit of a peek from this side. If you have the park now this way, oh, I love it. I love it. With the lagoons in the middle, we will have the secret carnivores in the back there. I'm not really sure what we do with this area. For the moment, it's temporarily for the responsive facilities, but it's not gonna stay this way. My idea is to separate the park into two areas, like this being the entrance area and the lagoons and stuff, and very much family friendly, because I mean, hopefully the kids are not falling into the lagoons. And then the further you go into the back, there is like the carnivory, much more dangerous area, and this will be separated by like a huge fence and stuff. And we will also have like a, let's say, explorer hotel somewhere over there that is a bit more for the adventure seekers. And I think this could be like a kids area or something, like with a pet zoo. I think this is the most likely option we are going to have over here. Using the trick that you can use the decoration as like a barrier, if you know what I mean. If you haven't seen that one, Evolution Square has a brilliant little tutorial on that. You can actually make walk-in habitats or something like that with the help of wonderful decoration elements, because these dinosaurs cannot walk through them, which is pretty cool, because that means they have a certain how's that called, physicality, physics. What are you doing? Are you attacking the fence? Don't you do that. Don't you dare doing that. I still love the pattern of those, not gonna lie, this looks really cool. But yeah, all over here this looks good. Do we have more people seated on here? Is this like how the stands are always crowded? Are they not always completely full? Because I mean, there's a Mosasaurus, and I think you want to see that in, like, everyone wants to see that, don't they? I don't know. Wouldn't it make sense that this is full? I mean, I don't know. Who am I to judge? And this is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly did enjoy that a lot. I hope you guys still enjoyed the series, and thank you so much for all your suggestions in the last episode. If you have anything to change, or if you find something very helpful that will help us make this even better, please let me know in the comments down below. And one of the most important questions I totally forgot to ask in general. So, what is your favorite dinosaur in Jurassic World Evolution 2? Like, it doesn't matter if it's, reptile, marine reptile, dinosaur, carnivore, herbivore, it doesn't matter. What is your favorite creature, let's put it that way, in Jurassic World Evolution 2? And, that's the actually more complicated question, what is your one most missing creature in this game that has not made its way into Jurassic World Evolution 2? That would be very interesting to read. And now I wish all of you a happy Sunday, happy week, and yeah, enjoy the time. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, thank you for your support, and goodbye.